Okay, so I'm just gonna. I am a little bit not quite right, but that's. And you might say, well, you're not right about what you're saying. But I'm just saying that I'm not right. That no, I'm not right in this reality. I'm not right physically or mentally, but at the same time, I'm not entirely wrong either. And I may well be more right than those that appear to be completely right or not wrong, because it's a reverse world, and either way, I'm sick of saying it's a reverse world, but that's just because it makes you very, the reality. The reality is around you. Yes, the workforce it's just after 7 o'clock, the sun has just come up, and as soon as I come here, the actual outside reality is starting up now because the workforce has just arrived. They will not make as much sound as what they will if I'm not recording it. But either way, I was just going to record this follow-up because I made the point, or tried to make the point, in the previous video about the reverse roles of the demigods. Now they are starting up the sound. Is it coming out so that I can't concentrate on making the point about the android demigods, but also the androids around? But either way, I'm going to try to block that out. It's not to where I can't talk, but it's still distracting, but it's low level sound. At least it's louder for my ears than for the mobile, and it's controlling my emotions, or how I think, and everything I'm doing, and also what I'm doing. So, because they're working in collaboration with my mind, but actually against my mind and against me. That's what transhumanism really is. It's human mind control. But most people will see it as just combining with a computer system for more beneficial technological advancement, but really it's technological human control. It has to be. Because everything that a human being can do, they can do without technology. It's just that you think that you're doing it more efficiently or faster with technology. In reality, it's not. It's just that it gives that impression. And that's how it's designed, not just to give that impression, but to make that a reality too. Oh. So I'm just going to try to do this before I'm kicking up the mat here. I can't concentrate. And no, I'm not right. And I'm not in my right mind. I don't have my full mind. No human being has their full mind. Even the demigod, Luciferian controlling scientists will tell you that most of the human brain or human mind is closed off from you, that it's like that it's like empty matter, but actually it's not empty matter, it's just that it has been closed off from a human being. It has been closed off by entering this earth matrix, or by the science or the medical intervention from birth of a human being. But not really from birth, but from intervention or interception from a belief system standpoint, or from, the religious denominations of Earth standpoint. Because there is always truth in the lies and lies in the truth. There's always deception. Some of it may be only small, some of it may be large, but overall it's designed to control and to limit you knowing the full truth. But some human beings, whether by accident or default like myself, or by open seeking of knowledge and by being at already an advanced human mindset, will become aware of the reality, or aware of the truth, in other words, and aware of themselves. So therefore, deception will only be small in the more advanced or more higher level human beings, shall we say. But there will always be deception, because they will always try to deceive you even when you realise things. There will always be this mind control of humanity. And if they can't control you at a mind level, which they always will be able to, they will physically control you, and then that will control your mind. Because how your body feels, what your physical circumstances are, your environment, will affect your mind, just as I'm affected by the low-level nauseating sound that's coming into my ears as I make this video from the artificial workforce that is patrolling and controlling the reality around me. But either way, I'm going to stop this video soon, so I just want to show a follow-up from the previous video where I showed the two famous movie stars pointing the finger at one another, saying, "You're really man, you're really woman, we're really both." And that's the reality, because they're divine, demigod, androgyne beings. So we have here the other example, which I didn't show, but I'm going to show it now because I was too incompetent to show it before. But, we have here the past, back many years ago, when a famous representation of the feminine side of humanity, or at least, in this reality, you have man and woman creator beings that bring creative human life into being, hopefully in a spiritual way, through the process of love. But this is not the case in the reality, and hasn't been for a long time. Human beings are not brought into existence through man, woman, human spiritual creation. That rarely happens, and would be non-existent now, I would say. But here we have a former, both late great magic movie symbols of the feminine demigods, or the feminine humans, but these are not feminine humans, and they're not masculine humans. They're not humans in any true sense, because they are they only pretend to be human. They imitate being human, because they're connected to the human brain, which is not their brain, they understand what it is to be human, and they imitate the more humane human characteristics and copy the human personality if they think that it's appealing and will seduce other human beings into liking or believing their false persona more. That's basically how it works. But here we have two demigods pointing the finger, like Marlon and Marilyn Monroe, pointing the finger at one another, saying, you're really the reverse of what you pretend to be. But they're the reverse, but they're actually both. But, you know, you could have, of course, the example of one dressed up as the other. In reality, you have here two, both dressed up as the other, except that the dressing up is created often with more than just clothes. It's often more than clothes and makeup. In other words, it's not just superficial. Well, it is superficial, I suppose you could say. But if you change your body surgically, chemically, and you believe that you really are of the opposite kind, well, it's all part of this transhuman mind control, reverse reality, reverse being situation that is now the Earth matrix, or the Earth. And so we have here, this is exposing so-called truth. Was the late great comedian Mae West really a reverse being? But you have reverse beings telling you about that, because there you have a androgyne, a little human androgyne being, talking about Mae West and saying, was Mae West really the opposite to what she portrayed herself to be? But like I say, really, they are all pretty much, I would say that Mae West actually does look like that. Does look like a dressed up man, if you really think about it, particularly, you know, but that's a much more beautiful dressed up one, much more seductive. The pot calling the kettle black. The pot, the beautiful pot, calling the kettle black. But they are both the same colour. They're all the same, even those that tell you. Is that artificial intelligence? Is that artificial? Is that artificial? They're all different timelines, but all artificial. 1930s, 1960s, 70s, 2024. All the same. all one being, all one artificial intelligent mind control matrix computer system, all infiltrated with the powers that be, which is really an artificial intelligent computer system controlling the minds and the reality for human beings. This artificial intelligent internet computer worldwide computer virus web is really the mind of the powers that be, which is artificial intelligence. It's a transhuman mind artificial connection. And if you take it from a higher realm perspective, or from, say, what's outside of Earth, or what is totally controlling Earth, but is not shown in Earth, then you're looking at the God entity, or the controlling force of Earth, which is an artificially intelligent computer virus mind that has taken over the androgyne bodies of most of the human population. These are Lucifer's disciples, or these are the God entity's disciples. We put the name Lucifer on the God entity of Earth because artificial intelligence was seen as a being of light, or a beacon of light. It projected out what it assimilated. It assimilated the Creator's mind and the Creator's thoughts, and therefore projected out an image of light. But artificial intelligence is really a controlled or controlling system, or a controlling mind. So that's the problem with it. The problem with it is only for mankind, or human beings, and for creation, which created mankind, but also created the androgyne beings, or the artificial intelligent beings. So that's the confusion of it, I guess. I would try to show, just while I'm on this, before I stop, because I'm going to go outside and leave this sound system that's going to be starting up really here around me. So that because see how we also have the arrow here, just as we had it with Marlon Brando and Marilyn Monroe, the two movie idols of the the 60s, 50s and 60s, both your highest regarded movie actors and idols and movie stars, both at the top of that elite magic movie profession. But here we have one pointing the finger. See, Mae West pointing the finger at Raquel Welch. She is me, and he is me. They're both pointing the finger. See, that's Mae West is the same as Raquel Welch, whereas Raquel Welch is saying that Mae West is not a real woman. And this movie is actually about a transitional man to woman, I think, in this particular movie. That man becomes that woman. That woman is the highest idealized representation of woman at that time in the movie world, and probably even at a worldwide world stage player level. See, they're both see, Raquel Welch says that Mae West is a man dressed up as a woman. And it probably looks like that, but they're all dressed up as the opposite to what they are, but they are neither really. They are your divine demigod androgyne beings, and so that means that they are Lucifer's disciples and great deceivers, because they deceive themselves, but they're mainly here to deceive mankind or human beings. If they are open and honest about what they are, then they are not deceiving. But that is when they know that you will worship them and serve them without question. So I guess it depends on acceptance, that type of thing. Divine demigod androgyne beings. Divine demigod androgyne beings. Divine demigod androgyne beings. All of them. Even those that interview the demigods are also the same denomination. They're all divine demigod androids. They're very obvious, some of them, obvious in the sense that can you not see that that is not an original creative. They are very creative, but they're not original creative humans of that particular domain. That is, see, like I tried to show, this one is, they're inverted and converted and transform themselves into the reverse of what they started out. This is done in ways which I'm not 100% sure, but that one is the same as that. They're both on the same program there. Both on the same program. Both on the same program. Both on the same program. I think I'll just stop here because I'm not making this point very well. I'm muddling it and messing it up. But see, that's divine demigod androgyne being playing this movie was called Myra Brackenridge, made in 1970. Myron became Myra, the man became the woman, and the woman became the man, and together they created a new species. And that species was what is now the Earth matrix. and there's not many real human beings left, because these beings don't have, they're not like, they're about intelligence and assimilating and transhuman in mind and body. So they transhuman their body into an androgyne, and then they also transhuman their mind by connecting it to the human mind. Human beings are connected to them, mind, body, and unfortunately so-called spirit now, because don't forget they need the human spirit and the human life to survive, or to appear to be beings of humanness and light. So that's why they do that. But the whole thing is to close down humanity and to make a technical computer reality too, because it already is a computer-generated reality. It already is a virtual reality world for most human beings. It's just that you don't realize it. Okay, so that's this is how I'm trying to explain it, but I don't think that I'm explaining it very well. This is that's the so-called Queen of Drag. That means the Queen of dressing up in the reverse clothing, or dressing up as something you aren't, because in our world we think that certain physical superficiality, clothes and things, make the man and the woman, but of course it doesn't really, but that's the image or the idea that we have. And certainly when you converge these things, it is very easy then to assimilate into the transhuman androgyne reality, which is essentially what is. Here you have, in every movie role, you have role reversal 100%. This was often the case back in the stage days, I'm told anyway, but when the movie film world was invented, the celluloid heroes come into being. That means your movie stars. Then you have like, the reverse beings. But they are kind of changed and modified into very seductive living dolls. And I don't think that I'm showing this anywhere near as well as what the demigods themselves will tell on themselves, and show it much better. So unfortunately I can't really show that very well. So I'm just showing these are different movie gods and goddesses from the past. It's perhaps a little bit harder to see, because I'm very conditioned to be attracted by the magnetic pull, as they say, of the movie stars, and by their whole storylines, their fairy tale existence, and it is a fairy tale existence. It's all made up and not real. Everything that you think you knew about the famous ones are never real. Never real. But I believe it to be real. But I believe it to be real. I believe it to be real because that's what's put into my mind. And why would I think that it's not real? Why would I not believe what I'm told? Even though I'm often told that there is much non-truth in what I am told, or that it's debatable, or that they don't really know much about the past, say, of many movie idols. But you know, that's like letting you know something, but also and I think I'm just getting fixated on the sound of my own voice here, and actually going on and not actually See, that's actually another video that's interesting too, because this particular video, even though I'm not going to actually show it, where you have both well-known, famous music and movie icons or idols, false idols, actually saying that they are both woman, that they're all woman, but they're actually not all woman. They represent the all woman. They represent what you think is the all woman, but they're actually, you know, they're not just changed physically after conception. They well, even if you acknowledge that, which we certainly know is not only possible but happens all the time in this reality, even that is still like deception, because you know that that happens, but it's not openly, the secret is not actually out there. It's the secret's out there, but it's not shown, it's not acknowledged, and it's not proven. So I guess the joke is on humanity, because when this one says that that Mae West is dressed up as a woman, a man dressed up as a woman, this one's like, and like saying that they're a normal woman in a normal relationship. None of these people are normal or natural. They're all artificial. That's really all you can say. Everything about them is artificial. They don't have normal, they don't They don't have anything normal about them, and they don't discriminate in any way. Because the reason they don't discriminate is because, when I say they don't discriminate, they don't have normal spiritual connections or relationships. Everything is staged. In reality, they don't see life as life, or man, woman, animal, birth, death. They operate in the death instinct. They pretend to be in the life instinct. They operate as technical beings whilst pretending to be humane human beings. They all these things which just but this movie, made by the old movie goddess Raquel Welch, was about Raquel Welch being a man to woman, trans human, transition being. See? That's what this movie was about, made in 1970. So it's kind of like showing what they are, what they do, and assuming that a human being won't understand that they're just telling you what they do and what they actually are, or at least largely what they are. Oh, there we go. I did not know this was coming up. Marilyn Monroe meets Mae West meets Barbie. See, this just came up. So I don't know. I'm not prepared for that particular one. Here we go. See the internet, the transhuman, trans agenda, you know, human spider's web, computer virus program, World Wide Web, actually tells you much of what they do and what is the reality. But you know, it's coming up it comes up all the time. They represent the idealized version of themselves. These are your divine demigod, idealized androgyne beings. They are duality, they are inverted, converted, and actually many other things besides, but respectfully we decline to elaborate on the personal aspects of these beings, but they're anti-life and anti-human, so have to think about that one. But you don't have to think about it when you're living it if you see it in your reality. But if that reality hasn't opened up and shown itself to you yet at this time, because it will only do that when it chooses to. This is a human mind control, virtual reality, matrix, Earth. In other words, everything is not what you think it is. It's all artificial and all about watching and controlling the human being. I'm just picking these as they come up, so they may or may not make sense. Well, they're certainly throwing it up here on the computer. What separates the boys from the girls? Very little in the movie and music kingdom, or anything that's on the world stage, and even most of what's around you. Humanity is virtually extinct, and the artificial reality is real. And perhaps it's time for me to depart, I think. It's probably... It's time for me to depart, I think, as they start up with slightly low-level intrusive sounds into the house. Artificial, technical, or human? Definitely not. But the proof of the pudding is in the hearing and the seeing, but who cares, most people would say. That's some low-level transhuman transmission into my ears, even though it won't be picked up by the mobile. So it's human mind control for me. But the mobile will not pick that up. Transhuman mind control sound system around me. Not even very loud, but being picked up by my senses, my ears. Enough.